What's up, everybody? Destin Legary here, and I am joined today by Zach Stein.
Hello.
Zach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That's excellent. Today we're taking a look at PlayStation Now.
Yes.
So we have a beta code here in the office.
Yes.
It's important to note that it is a beta.
Exactly. So this is a work in progress. We are only seeing an example, a small demo of what this may be, and nothing is finalized yet.
First up, let's talk about the pricing. How does it look?
So this is going to be a bone of contention for some people. Again, it's important to note, Sony said these are not fixed prices. These are not final prices. This is something they've put up there right now. And some of the pricing is questionable. For example, we were taking a look at, well, you were playing Final Fantasy 12 or 13.2?
13.2.
13.2. And we noticed that it was, 30 days was $14.99 and 90 days was $29.99. Yeah. And so this is where we're a little confused as to how this may work. So,
Those prices are ridiculous.
Right. I mean, you could buy the copy of the game for less than $29.99,
yes.
I'm guessing right now.
Yeah.
And so, again, Sony hasn't fixed this, but, maybe if you want to play something for a week and you don't feel like running to the store, you just, I missed this level, maybe $6.99 is what you're looking at.
So that's the first thing we noticed.
Right.
Next up, how fast did it load?
Now, so we saw that once you went through the menus and selected your game, there was about a 15-second delay while it booted up some assets there, got connected to the servers.
And then it would kick you to another loading screen.
Right.
And then your game would start.
Yeah, but so we guessed it was about a minute. Under a minute
yeah.
By the time things were up and running, which is reasonable for a cloud-based game. I mean, if you put in a disc, you're going to get the same kind of thing.
Yeah, and how did they look?
Now, they looked good. It looked HD when we had a strong signal going. It's going to depend on what your internet connection is, but if you have a pretty strong, robust internet connection, it looked good. We noticed some compression. If you're a video file, if this is something that you're really looking for, you might notice mild blocking. Nothing that the average person is going to notice. I think it's more than acceptable. I thought it was very pretty, and I was very impressed.
And then, how did they play?
Now, for some of the games that we tried out, they worked well.
Final Fantasy was great, right?
Final Fantasy was great. What was the other one we had there, the shooter that you had? Space Ace?
No, it wasn't Space Ace. It was some indie shooter. Space Ace was
Big Sky Infinity?
Yeah, that's it.
Big Sky Infinity looked good. Everything was good. When we put in Deus Ex, that's where we noticed that there was some mild lag there. Now, unfortunately, this is a shooter. You need some responsiveness. What was it like for you when you got into the combat there?
So when I got into the combat, it just seemed like it was close, but it was just enough off to screw you up.
Right.
Like it wasn't quite perfect. Now, Deus Ex, you're supposed to use a lot of stealth and cover and whatnot, but that is a bit of a concern because it's indicative of what you might experience in, let's say they try and do it with Call of Duty.
Right.
That's going to be a problem.
Or a fighting
game.
Exactly. If you're playing a fighting game, you might get a little frustrated. We haven't tried a fighting game yet. We don't know how it's going to look in the final product, but it wasn't quite one-to-one the way some of the other titles were. Final Fantasy, again, seemed to be very responsive for you.
Final Fantasy worked great.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Deus Ex, we did have one major problem. I died once.
Yes, you did.
And we came back, and it lagged crazy. So we were losing connection, but we have a great connection here at IGN. It's hardline.
Right.
Hardline connection. And a significant drop in quality to the point where I wouldn't have played that game.
It was unplayable. It got fuzzy. We got a warning box on the screen that said that the connection was poor, and it was going to and it warned us that it was going to affect our gameplay. But we noticed it start to come back.
Yeah, it's stabilized
as the game caught itself back up. Again, this may be a bug they're working on right now. I certainly hope that isn't indicative of the final product. But that was a major glitch that we have to point out. It was a bummer.
Imagine you die on a frustrating boss and you come back and you have to give it a few seconds. That's not going to go over well.
People are going to turn it off. People are going to turn it off right there.
Turn off and they won't use the service again.
No.
It's a beta. Probably going to adjust that.
Exactly.
Yeah. One cool thing, though, is you can launch games from the XMB, which is really nice. So you play them on PlayStation Now, But then you could go to your cross-media bar, or whatever it's called on PS4. I think it's cross-media bar still.
Yes.
And you could launch it right from there, which is great.
Yeah, so your recently played titles will show up there, whether it's PlayStation Now or something native to your console. That it looked like it skipped a step then if it's already ready to go, so you don't have to launch PlayStation Now. And that is going to be convenient, especially if it's something that you've rented there.
Yeah. Overall, what do you think so far?
So far, I think it's promising. I've been waiting for this. I've been excited about it. I think it's a great idea. I think they're going to have to work on their pricing and make it more attractive. If it costs more than what I'm going to pay in retail, I understand that you're getting a convenience and you're getting a service, but you're also trading off a bit of quality for your streaming. They need to find a sweet spot where somebody is willing to pay a certain amount because you don't own this game. To be clear, it's a rental. The most you can rent this is for 90 days. You will never own this title. Yeah. So it's got to be something that you're willing to play. But if they can get that one-to-one connection, controlling feel to where it works for every single game, you don't die and it doesn't, crap out on you, for a lack of a better term there. I think it's promising. I think it's exciting. Again, it's a beta, but I like what I've seen so far.
I think a subscription model will be great. Don't know if they're going to do that. I would love to see that.
I would love to see that. That's a great idea.
Anyway, for more on PlayStation Now, you are already in the right place. IGN.